architects waste days modeling neighboring buildings just to produce one planning visual. Days. What if I told you can just photograph the street, turn those buildings into the 3D models in minutes, drop your proposals in and generate full exterior visuals and animations without writing prompts? Today I'm testing VizMaker again, but this time is all about architectural context in Manchester. And this might completely change early stage design urban workflows. So let's get started. We are working on the project where we are replacing a famous pub building with a new proposal. So we are now in the beautiful city center of Manchester. Most of these buildings are listed properties, so they are really protected, and we are working within the conservation area. So the context of the project will be really important on this one. And by the way, here is the most hidden park in the Manchester. Right, we are going to our pub now. You can see it on the screen right now, and I've been there for too many times. So as you can see, this is a really dense and busy city center context. We are going to the street view now, and what we'll do, we'll grab a screenshot of the neighboring buildings. Right, that is good, that will be appropriate. Right, here the view at the front is really obstructed by the car, so maybe we'll just switch to the older year, to the older Google Maps. Right, that is nice, we can see the top and bottom of these buildings clearly, so now we can do the screenshot and that will be the view going forward. And now we'll do the screenshot of the entire block of the buildings, of the entire square in the city center. Because I was thinking, maybe you can have also the wider context, not just the immediate buildings, but few buildings apart from that. So I'm going to use VizMaker's 3D model creator to rebuild parts of the streets in Manchester. And instead of modeling the entire surrounding of the context from scratch, I'm gonna generate 3D models from the photographs of the neighboring buildings. Then I will bring everything to SketchUp and 3ds Max. So the big question is, will these 3D contextual models be actually usable within the architectural visualization context? But before generating the 3D models, I have to slightly fix the perspective of these existing buildings. So let's quickly go to the Photoshop and I will fix our elevations to make the job much easier for our AI engines to generate the 3D models. So obviously I'm doing that because I went from the Google Street View to grab these screenshots, but normally you would have the site photographs for that. And now we've got our result. Now let's upload our images to the VizMaker. We are now going to the 3D model creator, and as you can see we have two engines there, Tripo and Meshy AI. I will use both just so we can compare the difference. Let's select Tripo first, I will click Make to generate our model. And now with Meshy AI, as you can see we have plenty of customization options. For now, we'll keep everything as default and we'll generate the model as well. I will do the same for the second model and let's see the results. The first one is Tripo AI. It's not perfect, as you can see the ground floors have been inserted into the building. Now let's see the Meshy AI. Oh wow, the proportions are surprisingly accurate. Window spacing and floor heights feel very close to the reality. Some smaller details like cornices or signage are simplified or slightly melted, but for contextual modeling, this is more than usable. Now let's see Tripo AI and our second building. Right, that's quite okay. It's far from being perfect because some details are lost, some of them are melted, but it could be usable. Now let's check Meshy AI. That's absolutely impressive. It picked up the brick rhythm and vertical articulation, which is crucial in the contextual streets. The building mass reads correctly in the perspective views, not just front elevation. Roof pitches are interpreted well, which is often where AI fails, to be honest. And the model isn't overcomplicated, which actually makes it practical. In all, I am really happy with all these generated models. Now I will export both of these models as both GLB and OBJ formats. And having both GLB and OBJ is really practical. This isn't just a cool demo, you can actually bring these models into your real software. Now let's upload our third view, and this will be the entire square in the city center. What I would like to do here, I would like to isolate that square on the white background. So there is no confusion for the AI engine what to generate as a 3D model and what's just the background. So for that I'm going to the image editor, I'm choosing Nano Banana Pro 4K resolution, and for the prompt I wrote something special, and it will be as always available in the pinned comment down below. Okay, we've got the result now. I'm really happy with that, although the details of the building were not really improved. So we'll do that now. So now I will choose Nano Banana Pro 4K resolution as before, and now in the prompt I'm putting to reconstruct the details lost in the low quality resolution of the photograph. So let's see whether it will get improved. Right, it's slightly better, there is no huge difference between them, but it's okay. We'll use that. Now, as before, we are generating the 3D models with Tripo and Meshy AI. That's great. The overall massing is quite good, having in mind we've had such a low resolution image from Google Maps. We don't have so many strange distortions. And the building masses read correctly in perspective views, not just the front elevations. So as before, we'll save it as GLB and OBJ files, so we can use that later in SketchUp and 3ds Max. Now I'm going to use our AI-generated Manchester buildings, put our new proposal in, and set the views. So let's bring everything into SketchUp first. So basically, let's drag our new model into the SketchUp, and just like that, it's in. Let's rescale that and position that properly. And yeah, there it is. The surrounding building is in my scene. So instead of modeling neighboring properties in hours, I've got contextual massing in minutes. Let's now position our second building properly. And just like that, we have an entire street edge rebuilt using AI-generated context models. That's powerful. And you know what? I'm so happy with these models, we don't even have to drop our third model with the wider context. So now let's do the same for 3ds Max. Basically, we are dragging and dropping the model here, and just like that, it's in. Obviously, we'll have to adjust the scale, adjust the position then if we'll have the proper model in the 3ds Max. But as you can see, it's easy and really usable. Now we've got our new proposal sitting in its Manchester context. The surrounding buildings are in place, the street alignment works, and we've set up all the key camera views. So now it's time to generate the visuals and see how this actually looks in the real urban context. So this is where architecture meets reality. I'm gonna generate 4 exterior visuals of our new proposal within Manchester context. So let's upload them to the VizMaker. I don't have to actually write any prompts because VizMaker presets are handling everything. So I simply choose View to Render preset. However, for our context for the visuals, I want to clarify in the prompt to set up the scenes in the typical English city center. Also, I would like to add some cars and people on the streets to make it believable. I will select Nano Banana Pro 2K resolution, and let's make 2 images per our view so we can compare the results and choose the better one. Normally I wouldn't be doing that, but here I want to choose which context would be better. And before I will show you the results, if you are enjoying this video, please subscribe, comment and give it a thumbs up. Is it done yet?
Sir, yes, sir!
Yeah? The first image is absolutely perfect. The lighting feels natural, very overcast Manchester sky. The reflections in the windows are subtle and believable, and the contextual brick tones blend really nicely with the proposal. One issue here, our signage on the buildings seems a little bit melted because obviously it's coming from our 3D models, so we may consider to Photoshop this afterwards before presenting to the client. Right, the second image is even better. It looks better, but it's not really within the context. The buildings on the left-hand side and the street arrangement, it's quite different to what we have there on that street. So we'll use the first image. Now see the before and after. Same building, same camera, completely different emotion. Now we have the image number 2, and to be honest, that's impressive. This will be definitely my favorite one. It feels more dramatic. Stronger shadows, greater depth. The building edges are crisp, and the proposal stands out clearly without overpowering the street. There is just nothing negative to say about this visual. Everything looks good and appropriate for Manchester's context. Right, the second view of this one is almost the same, but in stone instead of white render. And as much as I like that, that's not our design. So we have to go with the white one, with the first image. Now you are seeing the before and after. This version feels much more cinematic and less catalog render. With the image number 3, it's okay. I mean, the details on the neighboring buildings seems a little bit melted. Maybe let's see the other image. Right, the details on this one feels much more clearer. And when I look properly on that image, material textures look rich but not exaggerated, human scale feels correct, proportions read well, and the contrast between the old brick and the new facade feels really intentional on this one. Although some window reflections on our neighboring buildings feels a little bit repetitive, but overall I'm happy with that visual. Now we are seeing the before and after. Now the building and the entire scene feels occupied and realistic. Now the image number 4, and to be honest, on this one the atmosphere feels beautiful. Unfortunately, we can't use that, because this is just the corner of the building, and that's not in the design, the entrance is not there. Right, the second image, this is as it should, that's compliant with the design. So on this one, the street integration feels seamless, and the depth of field adds realism. Although I'm not so convinced with the scale of the people here, they feel just much smaller than they should. Now, let's look at the before and after, from a simple context model to a fully released architectural visual. So as you can see, all four of them are not perfect, but very usable. Now we'll take one step further, because static images are great, but movement sells architecture. In this section, I will turn our exterior visuals into short architectural animations. And for that, I'm going to the video creator, and as you can see, we can choose from the plenty of AI models here. For this, I'm gonna go with the Kling 01 5 seconds video, and from the presets, we'll be using rotational view. As you can see, to our new frame, to our video, we can connect two different frames. There are two nodes which we can bring to our final video. And we'll do exactly the same for our animation number 2 and 3. I'm not using any fancy prompts. It will be just the rotational view preset between the views. The first one seems really nice. The movement is smooth, the lighting stays consistent, and the context doesn't distort. That's amazing. This one feels like a proper architectural flyby. No flickering textures, context between the buildings remains stable, materials hold up during the motion, and honestly, it looks premium. For the third animation, as we approach the facade, the depth of window reveals becomes more noticeable, which gives the elevation proper architectural weight. Well, I'm not super happy with the materials on this one. When you go closer to the building, it gets a little bit distorted. But in all, the slow forward motion creates a cinematic reveal. It makes the building feel intentional and confident within the street. After generating all these animations, I have to say it's genuinely impressive. But most importantly, the buildings and the entire scene remains believable within Manchester's context. For early stage presentations, client walkthroughs, or even social media storytelling, this is more than enough. It's fast, smooth, and adds a completely different level of professionalism to the project. So now let's watch all the animations being brought together. And in case you were wondering how I'm putting all the videos together, you can use literally any video editing program. And many of them are for free, like for example CapCut that you can see on the screen right now. You can just drag and drop the videos there, and you don't have to adjust anything between the animations there. VizMaker makes it perfectly well, so you don't have to join these animations in any way in the editing program. So after testing VizMaker for architectural context, what do I actually think? If you want to quickly rebuild the surrounding buildings from the photographs, VizMaker makes it ridiculously easy. You can take a street photo in Manchester, generate quick contextual 3D models, export them as GLB or OBJ files, drop them into the SketchUp and 3ds Max, place your proposal inside, generate exterior visuals using presets, and then turn those visuals into animations, all inside one workflow. And this is especially useful for the architects working on the urban infill projects, on the planning applications, or context studies. You can just save an enormous amount of time, which you can later spend on negotiating your fees with clients or technical drawings. We love those. So obviously that whole process won't replace the detailed modeling for the construction drawings. And obviously you'll do better job modeling it yourself. But is it worth your time? You can basically save a huge amount of time with this workflow. When it comes to the pricing, VizMaker can be actually tested for free, and this is exactly how this tool should be approached. You get to understand how it behaves before committing to anything. However, if you want to use it properly, the paid plan is really straightforward, and what you are paying for here is reliability. Also, I've got a 50% discount on your first month. Just use my code Adrian50 at the checkout and the discount will be automatically applied. And this will give you a full month to experiment with that tool properly. If you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, would you actually trust AI to model architectural context? And if you want to see how VizMaker performs, with interiors and furniture modeling, watch my other video where I tested it in a completely different workflow. It's right here, go watch it next. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.